Hi my beauties, it's your girl Cartier of Sitletto Beauty with another video. To my new beauties, thank you so much for stopping by, whatever brought you. And to my returning beauties, thank you so much for the continued support. It means so much to me. For my new beauties, I would love it if you joined the Beautihood, and it's very simple. It's just 3 simple steps. First, you want to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell, click all so you always know when your girl's posting. And then to all beauties, I ask that you watch this video and any of my videos in its entirety, and then if you like what you saw, give your girl a thumbs up. And in the comments, that's where I ask you to go give me love, constructive criticism, recommendations, suggestions, all that good stuff, because that's where you and I connect on a more personal level. Now, this video is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, very long time, which is combining my love for specifically makeup and movies. Like, I am a big movie person, so this is my first movie review. I'm going to, as I do it, I'm going to build and, come up with a more cohesive, concise formula of how I want it to be filmed. But this is the first one, so bear with me. But the movie that I'm going to be reviewing and the look that I did with this one is going to be Bad Boys Ride or Die, which was in theater. It's scheduled June 7th. Yeah, so if you want to see how I created this look, yes, and it's just the eye look, honestly speaking. If you want to see how I created it, stay tuned. I will say towards the end there are going to be spoilers. I'm going to indicate where the spoilers are going to start, and so if you don't want to know like the ins and outs, which technically speaking it's been almost a month, so is it spoilers at this point? But anywho, if you don't want to, you don't have to watch that. You can skip over that part, but stay tuned. Okay, my beauties, let's get into it. So first we're going to start with the products I'm going to use to prime. And we're going to go in with 2 priming products. Elf for the win. And as we get into it, so the movie starts off, the premise of the movie, first I'll start with the premise of the movie is, I'm going to do my best to not refer to them as Will Smith and Martin. So to do that, we're gonna just their characters' names. So Martin plays Marcus, and Will Smith plays Mike. Okay, so for the rest of this movie video review, I'm gonna be talking about Marcus and Mike. Okay, cool. So the premise of the movie is Marcus and Mike find out, or pretty much the world finds out, that the late Captain Howard, who was their old boss, was corrupt. And Marcus and Mike, specifically Mike, completely calls bullshit. And they get a tip that it is actually bullshit, and they just, have to clear his name. And so in doing to clear his name, they go to speak to Mike's son from the last one, we found out, who is a criminal named Armando, who is fine, by the way. And Armando lets them know that Captain Howard was not framed. I mean, he was assassinated or murdered because he knew too much. And so while they are trying, so then they also find out that Mike's son knows the person who's behind all of this, who called out the hit on Captain Howard, and because of that, he's a key witness. So then, what ends up happening is they end up on a lam with Mike's son in the process of trying to clear a name, and they become fugitives themselves. So now they have to solve this case to prove Captain Howard's innocence as well as their own. So that is the premise of the movie. So I'm gonna go on with my bronze and drops that I like so much right now. Yeah, so as far as I'm trying to break this up. we're gonna go with the story, what did I feel about the story? I felt, if I'm being completely honest, that the story was not, I'll say this, the story wasn't bad. I enjoyed the story on this one. The plot, how they came about, all of it, I was a fan of the plot. More so than the last one. What else is there? What else did I liked about it is, so we're gonna just go in. I'm not gonna do so much of the. I'm gonna try to just explain the movie a little more in depth without giving away the spoilers until the end, as promised. So we open it up with, kicks off with Mike and Marcus having to go to an event, and yeah, so they're getting up to, well, no, I'm not gonna do that because that's the spoilers. I'm so sorry, y'all, forgive me, okay? But like I was saying, so let's get back to the plot and stuff. So so as we know, this is a cop movie, 100%. And what it is also too is an action movie directed by Michael Bay. And if you know Michael Bay, you know Michael Bay. That is Mr. Explosion himself. I don't even know what his budget be for his special effects, but I expect it to be high because he loved blowing some shit up. But what I will say is, as far as the storyline, like I said, I think that it was, for the most part, I enjoyed it. It was believable to a degree, and it didn't get too Hollywood on me, because sometimes they get Hollywood. So I was okay with the storyline. What I don't recall understanding how far the time lapse between this one and the last one. That I don't recall. So that I can't help you with. What else is there? As far as the story, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can really gonna touch on the story. That was believable. Okay. The next thing is the characters. So we're gonna talk into the characters and the cast, which is, I think, is a big deal. The cast of this movie, I think they did a really, really good job. With, of course, you have Martin Lawrence and Will Smith reprising their roles, obviously, and they've done this 4 times. This is the 4th time, so their chemistry is ridiculous. Like, I love Martin and Will working together, and I would love. The only issue of them working together is I think sometimes we get fixated on the what we're used to, which is, if you see them two together, you want to see them in Bad Boys. You know what I mean? But I just love their chemistry. They have a really, really good chemistry together. So they're great. They did a good job reprising their roles. Then you have, who else is returning? Captain Howard, who is, I forgot who he's played by, and I know I hate that I do that. Give me 1 second. Pull up the cast. Oh, did I take it off? I probably did. Shit. Let's go. Let's pull up the IMDb. Oh, thank God. Okay. Because this is annoying. Let's just. Okay. Where is he at? I hope I don't have to sign into this shit again. Alright, where is... And then as soon as I see his name, I'm like, God damn it, just his name. Joe. Fucking Joe. Oh God, I can't pronounce his name. Pantoranio. I'm gonna botch his name, but okay. P. Louise for the eyeshadow base. You're right now, and this is in, what is it, 0.5? I'm just gonna blend that out. Give me a sec. Let's blend this out. All right, once I get past that, you gotta focus, baby, focus. So you don't mess up. All right, but okay, first let's talk about the things that, let's do good, bad, we'll do that. So I'm gonna end on the good stuff. So the stuff that I didn't really care for too much for without trying to give too much away. I didn't, make sure I say this right because I want to be perfect. What did I like? Okay, so all right, I can't, oh God, there's some scenes. All right, Doctor Captain Howard comes back. He's like he is in the movie, but he comes back. It's almost like he comes back in a couple of multiple ways. So he comes back by pre-recording videos. That's the videos that he sends to Marcus and Mike, right? And listening to help from the beyond. And I think that was in the previews. But the thing that is in the movie is the other ways. Like they have these kind of like sleep state sequences. I just, in my opinion, I didn't like those because I just felt like they were a little, I guess, like cheap, if I would use the word. I guess I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. It's just me. All right, okay, so we're gonna go in side shadow look. I'm using this, what is it called? Cream and Sugar shadow palette from e.l.f. It's my first e.l.f. palette, and we're gonna just go in with this, I guess it's supposed to be cream shade. Put that all over the crease. I'll put the pictures up. Y'all already know. And that's gonna be my crease color. We're gonna blend that down. Then I'm gonna get back into what I did like, yeah. And then we're gonna go in to this chocolate. This is a nice chocolate brown. Very, ooh, e.l.f. And then we're gonna just press that in, but buff that upwards into that crease color. And then we're gonna just buff it out. Like that. Yeah, that's so pretty. This e.l.f., these shadows are nice. This is my first. I'm gonna have to dab into some more e.l.f. They blend out really pretty. Good. All right. And just gonna reinforce. And then whatever's left, just kind of bring it towards the inner to just create some shape and dimension. Like that. Cool. Then we're gonna go in. Where's my silicone? Here she is. Look, I feel like this is not the right one, but let me clean it off nonetheless. Oh, that's where it is. Before we continue with this, we're gonna get into the silicone brush. I love this. Get you one of these because it makes adding foils and shimmers and glitters so easy because they just stick to it and there's doesn't cause any fallout, honestly speaking, or very minimal. because it has like a tacky like surface. So I love it. We're gonna go into the champagne color. I'm gonna put this all over the lid. Let's see. That is so pretty. And look at it. And then also too, deposits it all that color on the eye. It doesn't hold on to it. It just puts it where I want it. So you end up not having to use as much. Like that. Oh, looks so pretty. Only thing is I wish there was like another, it was a brown, just a little bit warmer, a little warm, and then lighter than this. Would have been perfect, especially to create this the transition, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just gonna go in with, gonna tap into that transition, our transition color that we put our crease color. I'm gonna put a little bit of that brown on it to kind of make our own and blend that out. Like that. And I'm gonna tap into a little bit more of the brown. And I'm just gonna soften that. No, you diffuse this. Don't want a harsh line. Okay. Like that. This is a very simple look, y'all. This is nothing crazy, I promise y'all. But I wanted to just do a look that just felt, you know, on par with the movie. Like it's giving me bronze, it's giving me, you know, smoky. Then we're gonna go in with the black liner. Like I do like that all the time. Bugging, no I don't. We will use the mirror. I'm gonna keep. And we're gonna just do a half wing. We're not gonna do a full one. I've been loving half wings, honestly speaking. Like that. Just it's gonna give you, it's giving it a little bit of woke, a little bit of, you know, sexy, right? All right, so now while I blend this part out, let's finish back with the review, what I thought. So back to like I was saying about the parts that it wasn't really feeling so much. It wasn't too much of it. Then there was some, you know, the climax where the big battle goes down. It was in the alligator park in Miami or in some part of Florida. And it was some CGI crocs that just irked my nerves. Because I was just like, why? You know? I just didn't think that was necessary. But other than that, I think it was pretty. The movie overall was good, decent. Now the stuff that I liked, as I said before, loved the chemistry. Loved the chemistry between Martin and Will. I did like the storyline. I love the fact how they make, you know, Captain Howard. I just feel like the way that they set him up was dope. Like I was like, oh, okay. I keep calling his name Eric. I forget his name in the movie, but he wasn't playing. Like he was really, really good. Like he was. I thought it was really good. It was believable. And what else was there? I did like Judy, the daughter. She was hell-bent. Her mission in the movie, the mission in the movie was she wanted Will's son. She was determined, like, I want to kill him. He killed my father. That was her thing. I thought she was really, the actress Rhea, I thought Rhea did a really good job because, like I said, I'm used to her being a more comedic, sarcastic actor. And this, all of that was stripped away. She was not playing, but then in the same breath, she also was a mother. So it was, and she was a cop. So it was like, that layer to it, that was nice. What I also did like was in this particular movie, I feel like this movie, a big theme of it was more so for Mike's character, which is Will. Mike had to deal with a lot of stuff. Like, he had to deal with he felt, the biggest thing is he's a cop. His son is not. His son is also bad, right? He is he killed, not only just killed anybody, he killed the man that Mike really looked up to, Captain Howard. And he had to deal with that, which is guilt for that. And then also, too, the guilt of, even though technically it wasn't his fault, with not being a part of Armando's life, because he didn't know he was in existence. He didn't know he had a kid. But also, too, your son is not a good person. And I could just be projecting or speculating, but because he is a cop and cops are the good guys, I think that was a struggle for him, because he's one breath his badge is, he has to uphold the badge, but the other breath he's also a father, and he also has a very, very strained relationship, if that's what you want to call it, with his son. So it was like Mike had a lot. And then he also, there was a new, because I don't want to give too much away, but there was a new aspect of his life that he had to adjust to, that he's also not used to. So I just feel like this was a lot of, and then I think it's okay to say this part, and I think another thing too is, in the movie, another thing that Mike had to deal with too was, he's getting older. And in the movie, he starts to suffer from panic attacks. But he's getting older, and it's also okay to lean on and depend on others. And for him, it's a weakness. He's not used to that. For whatever reason, he won't allow himself to do that. And even though he's a partner, and he has a partner in Marcus, but yeah, he's just so used to, I don't know, that's a big deal for him. This lasher's driving me crazy. Okay, I think I got it. So I think that's the biggest thing. Marcus is his things that he gripes with is, I don't want to give it away, but it's a big deal, but Marcus really he kept the comedy involved. So I want to preface this by saying it is a big deal, but he made it hilarious. So that's the other thing. Oh, speaking of, it was a point that I wanted to make that I was just like, and when I was talking about panic attacks, damn it, I can't remember. But yeah, so that is what I thought as far as the things that I liked. This is looking real pretty. I'm liking this look. Simple but cute. Okay. So, all right. So now I'm gonna go do the rest of the others. Oh wait, yeah, I'm gonna do the other eye. I'm gonna put on my base. We're gonna come back with the finished look, so then I can just go into the spoilers real quick and then let you guys know how I liked it, whatever. So don't move. Okay, my beauties. So this is the finished look. I'm obsessed. Okay, I'm obsessed. I ate. I love it. So let's just get into, like I said, so that was my cons and pros. Real quick, as I promised, the spoilers in the movie. So the movie starts off, like I said, we find out that Captain Howard is being framed. He's being framed, right? And we then introduced to the Eric Dane's character, who's the villain, and then we find out that he is setting him up. He's transferring money into some accounts with Captain Howard on it, making it look like it was him, right? And that's the extent of it. And so Marcus and Mike is like, absolutely not, we're gonna fix this. So then they find, I forget who tips them off or whatever, to Armando, but they go speak to Armando, who is in like maximum security, like locked up. He's in a damn small cage actually, and he tells them that it is corruption, and he was paid to, and he can identify the person who did it. And so Mike is just like, okay, we're gonna help you, whatever. But he also realizes, because he's a cop, that they gotta move on this quick. So anywho, after they see him, Armando's in prison. Eric's character puts a hit out on him. I think his name is Bishop. I'm not sure, but he puts a hit out on him. But luckily Armando was right. He handled his business. That was a real sexy scene too. Ate them up. And then that information gets passed to Mike. And so Mike is like, now we have to get him out, because if we don't, this is deep. They're trying to kill him. So anywho, while they're trying to move him to a better facility for protection, bad guy, villain, has his crew already on board. So they end up taking down the plane, trying to kill Armando. And then once they're in there, they decide that they're not successful in killing him. So what they end up doing is trying to pretty much frame the takedown as Marcus and Mike. And then to do so, they had the pilot say that Marcus and Mike took over the plane. And they end up killing the pilot. So it looks like Marcus and Mike did this to get Armando out. Armando and them, but they escape, unbeknownst to the bad guy. He wasn't expecting them to escape. So now they're on the lam. On their tail is Judy Howard. This is some bullshit. She wants the son. So now you have Mike and Marcus on the outside of the law, and they're with Armando, this is his territory. And so you kind of watch that little situation, them get into a lot of shit. And then what the bad guys end up doing to make life even more miserable and more complicated for them, he puts a bounty in the streets on their heads. And everybody starts coming for them. We get a little fun with Tiffany Haddish's character. She plays like this madame stripper kind of thing that Mike knew. Oh, the other thing in the movie too is Mike ends up getting married. That was a big shocker. He gets married, so now he's no longer player Mike, he is a husband. So you have that. Another spoiler, after they go through that, they still get able to get away. They are able to connect with the Vanessa Hudgens' character. I think her name is Kelly, and the younger guy who works with her. And then you find out that they're in a relationship, which was a cute little reveal, because it's not allowed. But anywho, they're the tech crew, and so they end up trying to help Marcus and them. They're working with them because they trust them. So another spoiler, which is in my opinion one of the best scenes. It's the best scene, but give me a second. So the big cast change up is Teresa, who is Marcus, the character who is Marcus's wife, who's normally played by Teresa Randall. She did not reprise her role, and it was recasted by Tasha Smith. So that was a big change. But I will say Tasha Smith in this movie wasn't the typical Tasha Smith that we're used to, which is very loud and aggressive and very funny and all sorts of stuff. She did dial it back a lot. So it was a change, but it wasn't the worst. Okay, so it was okay. But then you have the highlight of the movie for me was Marcus and Mike realizes the bad guy's onto them. So then they try to call their families, like, listen, whatever, to kind of protect them. The bad guys already finds out the information. He sends a hit team out to Marcus's house. And when he sends a hit team out in Marcus's house, you have Reggie, his daughter, his son-in-law, his daughter who is heavily pregnant, their son, and Teresa. He calls them. He's like, listen, you guys got trouble, go into the panic room. So Reggie, who is a Marine, he handles his business. You hear me? He puts his family in the panic room, and he gets out his weapon because he's ready to protect and do what he has to do for his family. And all while this is happening, Marcus and Mike and the tech crew are all watching. Reggie, so the bad guy sends like 15-man crew to take them down. Reggie kicks their ass. You hear me? Like, he handled business. He represented for the Marines. Like, he did a good job, which was so surprising. It was like a complete 180 from his character when he was in part 2 when he was a kid, to be like scared and passive. This one, he was not playing. And it was also that scene. The scene was fun because we got to see Marcus and all of the people's reaction as if they're watching it with us, because they were. So it was just a good freaking time. So like I was saying, Reggie, he was the beast. Reggie was the one. Another reprise role was the techie guy, the nerd guy, the tall guy from part 1. He was in part 2 as well. He came back. His chemistry rapport with Marcus's character was really nice. Also, too, Marcus's character, he ends up at Mike's wedding. He ends up dancing. He ends up having a heart attack, and when he has his heart attack, he goes into like this sleep coma state, and in there he meets Captain Howard is there, and Captain Howard pretty much tells him, you guys gotta come, a storm is coming, and his test is gonna test you guys, but it's specifically gonna test Mike. And then Marcus becomes like this, he's in this like spiritual reawakening thing. That's the part that kind of was just like a little for me, but it's still, I guess, doing it, and it allowed the comedy to stay a good aspect in the movie. It was cool. But all in all, like I said, the movie was pretty good. I did really enjoy myself. If you haven't seen it, it is a good watch. It really is. So this is the part where I'm going to rank, because we have 4 bad boys. So we have Bad Boys, Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys for Life, and Bad Boys Ride or Die. I'm gonna rank them for my fave to my least fave. So number 1 is Bad Boys 2. I think Bad Boys 2 is just simply my fave because it's a good time from start to finish. It's a good time. The action is, you're getting Michael Bay style action. You are getting, the story's great. I like the way they introduced the new characters. The storyline just made a lot of sense. It was really good. The villain was great. It was just, it all worked well together. So part 2. And then it was funny as hell. Like, good time. Then it's Bad Boys Ride or Die. This one. I think this one is really good. Like, it did a really good job with blending new characters. You know, the story was really good. It made sense. I liked the development in the characters of Marcus and Mike and their life and time and stuff like that, how they did that. I liked the switch up of trying to take the beloved Captain Howard and making him corrupt. They did a really good, it was just a good movie. I thought it was a good movie. Then Bad Boys. And when I honestly speaking, Bad Boys and Bad Boys Ride or Die, the margin is so minute, like pretty much it really is. But Bad Boys, the original, it was good. It was the first. It was nice. The villain was a little shaky for me, which is probably why this Bad Boys for Life Ride or Die edged them out. And then you have the last one, the third one, Bad Boys for Life. It was just I'm not gonna lie, after seeing that one, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to see this one, but I did hear a lot of good things about this one, so which is why I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and watch it. But yeah, so as a whole, the movie is definitely Sitletto approved. I think it's a nice, fun time. Like, you're gonna go out with your friends, a good date night movie. It's just a good time. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this movie and hope you enjoyed this look, which I loved it. I think I did a good job. As always, remember, true beauty is limitless. Stay beautiful and be kind. Until next time, bye y'all.